During our adventure through Michael Jackson's finances, we've uncovered how the King of Pop earned and then spent an unthinkable fortune, unravelled how eventually the cash ran out, and delved into the possessions he so very nearly ended up selling. And so, with the story of how all Michael Jackson's private things ended up on display here in Beverly Hills coming to an end, we get our very last glimpse of the items resulting from an incredible 2-decade-long celebrity shopping spree.
Well, I'm not a Michael Jackson fan. I've never even actually seen any of his videos or anything like that. And so this has been eye-opening and staggering and a bit sad.
The collection is unbelievable. It's beyond anything I've ever seen. And being a collector on a tiny scale, I walk through here and there's nothing he hasn't touched. There's early American, there's French, there's Egyptian, there's Italian. It's like when you consider he almost single-handedly supported probably a village of artists. I mean, hundreds of artists have survived thanks to Michael Jackson.
It occurred to me also while I was watching his video that the Queen of England, that you clarified for me, one of the queens anyhow, had powdered later in her life, powdered and transformed herself white so that she just became the iconic symbol of what the people demanded her to be. And I very much am experiencing that here, is that he has given everything to this music and to representing what his philosophy about life is. He's talking about world peace and protecting the children. And what are we seeing happening in our world and our culture today? It's like, it's quite extraordinary. And I wish him well wherever he is.
Anyway, before all this stuff is packed up and returned, we still need to find out why Michael suddenly changed his mind about selling all these things, seemingly no longer needing the cash.
With Michael, most people always assume he's like a money machine, and something will come to mitigate the situation and pull him out. Some big deal, something else.
And was this that something else? Back in March, Michael announced to Dermot O'Leary and the rest of the world that he was to perform live on stage once again.
This is it.
Is it possible for Michael Jackson to come back? It's hard to say. It's going to just depend on whether or not he is still the entertainer that he was when he was young.
Obviously, it's the money. At $1 million a concert times 50, let me see, that's $50 million or more, and may lead to other work.
I think he really wants to come back. I think he wants to make a point. He wants to show people that he's still viable, that there's still a new proposition for Michael Jackson. We just have to wait and see if he can pull it off.
Jackson will perform 50 concerts to over 1 million people, with every one of the shows immediately selling out. Tickets were being sold at a rate of 11 every single second, and we'll see Jackson himself earn tens of millions of dollars and possibly mark the beginning of a new chapter in the story of Michael's finances. So there you have it. The extraordinary tale of a lonely little boy who grew up singing and dancing his way to one of the biggest pop fortunes ever seen, who would embark on an unrivaled spending adventure, using his money to entertain us, and also to buy some pretty weird stuff from some pretty interesting people.
My relationship with Michael was both as a client and as a friend. He's very demanding, but only in the quality of the work, same as he is with his music.
I would say probably 60 or 70% of the sculpture that he collected were of children, and perhaps enabled him to live a childhood that he didn't have the opportunity to do when he was young.
And even those he sued just want to forgive and forget.
I never wanted any of their things. I simply wanted my money that they owed me.
We're not the type to ever do a tell-all book. We'll always be respectful of our clients. So if we do a film deal or a book deal, it'll be with respect for the clients. But, you know, we're going to be in business for a long time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Many of the people who bought the tickets and sold out these concerts so instantly weren't even around when Thriller was released. They weren't even around yet. They weren't even born yet. You know, it just shows you the impact that Michael Jackson has had on so many people, that despite all the controversy and all the scandal and, you know, all the allegations and the tawdriness of it, that the music and the image of Michael Jackson is what has persevered.
See you in July.